Once you pick your jumper, it's time to join the Clippers and test your build in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Two. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at Indiana, lurking in the basement of the conference for the time being. They're not pleased with their performance so far this season.
And when I look at Indiana, they've had such a disappointing season. Even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
And when you talk about inconsistency, I think a lot of it has to go to the players, because ultimately they're the ones that dictate how they perform.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Hardaway and Porzingis in at the forward slots. Then there's Doncic. Then there's Marjanovic. And it's George in at the point. And for the Pacers, Sabonis and Turner up front. Oladipo is the 2 with Warren playing small forward. And it's Holiday in at the 1 spot. You know, Bill, Indiana's a huge basketball state. Lots of love for the high school game, certainly the college game, but support of the Pacers has been a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah, I blame the Pacers because they should never have less than 3 players from Indiana University on the team at all times. Indiana people really love people who went to high school or college in Indiana. And I think that's one of the reasons they've responded to Oladipo like they have. Not only is he great, but he's actually an IU guy. I would always have at least 4. They should have all the Zellers. Anybody who's played at Indiana. All 3
of those Zellers, then maybe the dad can come back and play too.
Yogi Ferrell,
yes.
All those dudes. They should all be on the Pacers.
The hard way there, guys. Sabonis, a tough player, does not shy away from contact.
George against Holiday. Unloads. Again, the Mavericks score.
And right out of the gates, they are locked and loaded. 3 straight scores early.
Outside Warren. And Bill, talking about the Pacers and the history of this franchise, what are some of your favorite eras of Indiana Pacer basketball? And maybe it goes back to the ABA days.
Yeah, they didn't have the ABA in Boston. I never saw any of those games. Yeah. I just saw them through the little books in the magazines, but it was like this alternate league happening. I didn't know if it was real or not. You know, they came really close in the mid-'90s, and there was a great lost Indiana-Orlando series that went 7 and was really entertaining. Orlando up winning. That one was good. I thought in '98 they took the Bulls and Jordan to the brink. And that was the closest I thought the Bulls came to losing a series out of any of those 6 title years. So those would probably be the 2 highlights. The 2000 finals, they were a little closer to beating the Lakers than I think people realize.
It's a history lesson every time I sit down with you.
I'm trying.
Now, here's Sabonis. He gets that one. Sabonis has got 6.
Yeah, I like Sabonis' game inside because he's confident and skilled.
And the deal, keeping the Pacers in Indianapolis for 25 more years, almost $300 million in public subsidies, Bill, to renovate and expand the arena and the area around the arena.
So the public paid for this?
Some of it, a lot of it, but maybe not all of it.
If the arena was such a good deal, why doesn't the rich guy pay for it?
I don't know. I think the Pacers are at least kicking in $65 million.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's so nice of them.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
So timeout called here, the first for Indiana.
Yeah, things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
And you know what, guys? If for nothing else, just to slow things down a little bit, change it up somewhat.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Powell, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Maxi Kleber comes in for Porzingis. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Curry subbed in for Luka Doncic. Here's Boucher. It doesn't go for him.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Dallas.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
And he makes both free throws.
Free throw shooting is about mechanics, confidence, and your mental approach. He's locked in from there most every night.
Bounce pass from McConnell. Oladipo taking his time here. Stolen by George. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Kleba kicks to Porter. Some nice passing here by Dallas. The shot by George, no good. Pacers trail by 11. Down low, and that one is stuffed right through.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
Now, here's McConnell. Defense is right there. And Oladipo has it in the corner. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
You know, that's leadership. Doing what's necessary when it's necessary. Oladipo refusing to let the opponents get away with that.
Porter in the corner. Lets it go from the wing. Nice jump shot. Good.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
And oh, he hits the buzzer beater. Offense, the order. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty. Dallas going with a whole new group out there. On the court for the Mavericks. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Marjanovic is out there with Porzingis, and it's George in the point guard. Doncic against Holiday. No one near Turner as he lets it go. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got 3 assists in the game. Now, here is George. He's covered by McConnell. Another 3 that time. A beautiful shot from George. George has got 21 in the game. Now, here's McConnell. He's tightly guarded. Warren against Hardaway. Here's Turner. No good on the 3. Dallas has gotten it going from downtown in the second quarter. They're 3 of 3 on 3-pointers. And George with the stuff.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
Bill, we so appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. Always feels like there's so much more to talk about, which means we got to get you back here if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And Clark, you know what? Bill will always give you a great point of view.
And you know what? I think he needs his own barbershop talk show, Kevin. I mean, he's done everything else in media. Go barbershop on him, Bill.
Oladipo, he's checked in for the Pacers. Powell, he's checked in for the Mavericks. From deep, George, another 3 for Dallas.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident, too. As a matter of fact, I mean, if you're stacking up 3s the way he is, I mean, he's doing all this work from behind the arc.
Here's Warren, and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul against Dallas. He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And, you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he attacked, got to the line a bunch, and cashed in on his chances. Guys, he's slightly fallen off his pace from a year ago at the line, and those points from the stripe have been a little harder to come by.
Holiday against George. Oladipo outside. Holiday, the pass to Sabonis. Shot clock at 6. Goes up the baseline. And Turner with the basket on the assist by Sabonis. That's 7 points for Miles Turner. George finds Doncic. George with the ball. Coming in off a 41-point performance last game out. From deep. Another 3 for Dallas. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with a sizable lead as the quarter.
Thanks, guys. Huge first half for you, Che. You carried the load for your team. What can we see from you in the second half?
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Yeah, he's just been raining down on him from deep here. Talk about dialed in.
Well, you know, the stroke looks fantastic. Even when he's had a hand in his face, it hasn't affected him at all.
Oladipo is the 2 with Warren playing small forward. Sabonis and Turner up front. And it's Holiday in at the point. And that's the group for J.B. Bickerstaff as we begin the second half. And Clark, when you think back to your playing days in high school, what memories come to mind?
Well, just the fun of being able to have success all 4 years I was at St. Joseph High School in Cleveland, the way the city rallied around us my senior year when we had a chance to play for a state championship. Unfortunately came up short. The teammates and coaches and teachers that I had a chance to enjoy those 4 years with, all really fond, special memories for me.
Outside Hardaway. Off target with his 3. Pacers trail by 20. Knocks it loose. Here's Oladipo. Plays it up and banks it in. Oladipo's got 9.
Doing all he can so far, but they still find themselves trailing.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Boucher is checked in, and McDermott subbed in for T.J. Warren. And then for Dallas, Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. And Curry subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr. McDermott. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. You know, Clark, the Mavericks making their games accessible to Dallas fans, much more concerned with the packed house and the revenue at the gate.
Yeah, and I like that philosophy, guys. I mean, building their future fan base. Those fans will be around for a while. Giving young people a chance to become Mavericks fans for life. And you start early, and it pays dividends down the road usually.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
And Maxi Kleber is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Pacers making a switch here. McConnell's checked in. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Dallas. And here's McConnell. Pass to Leaf. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. This is his first trip to the line tonight. And the first one at the line is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Mavericks leading by 17. Brunson kicks to Porzingis. Outside, George over Oladipo. That's good for George on the assist by Porzingis. George has got 11 points here in just the second half. And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's McDermott. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
He's still trying to find his footing, but Doug McDermott is a great shooter, no question about that, but he needs to keep adding more to his game.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Powell's checked in. Well, out of Canada by way of Stanford University. 6'11" power forward Dwight Powell.
Boy, a high-energy guy is Powell, guys. He's a pogo stick and a rim runner. Very quick-footed. I think that makes him tough to tag slicing through the lane. His activity and agility really what separate him and get him minutes on the court.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Oladipo outside. Shot from free throw range. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
Boy, he's really been dominant in this one. Unfortunately, he hasn't had much help.
George double teamed. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Indiana. On Tuesday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Then on Thursday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. 1:32 left here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Oladipo. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
George finds Brunson. And that one, good. Brunson's got 7 points in the game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Timeout called the Pacers. Without question, George is displaying his skills today.
Just killing it from deep. They've got to be all up in his jersey at all times. Give him even an inch, and you're just asking for him to drop another triple on you.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Sabonis, he's checked in for Leaf. It's T.J. Warren in for McDermott. And Dallas with a change here, too. White's checked in.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs. Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
McConnell passes to Sabonis. Back to McConnell. And that one drops for him. He has 5.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the 3-point shot.
Dallas moving the ball around. And here's the fast break. Oladipo leading the way. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. And that's 13 points for Victor Oladipo. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's George. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
And Oladipo kicks to Boucher. That one good for 2.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
9 seconds left in the 3rd. Now, here's George. Again, what an avalanche!
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. And so it's Dallas, finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, platinum level dime dropping there, fellas. Accurate and on time.
And with the 4th quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the floor for Dallas starting the 4th quarter here. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Dwight Powell is out there with Marjanovic, and it's George in at the 1.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Porzingis, he's checked in for Dwight Powell. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Mavericks.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And also, I think it's really led to the rhythm and confidence you've seen from long range tonight throughout the entire game.
A lot of players keep track of their stats, their own team stats. But, Clark, how much do guys pay attention to stats in game?
I have no idea. I mean, I know stat sheets are given to the coaches during the timeouts throughout the game, but I don't think players in general are able to monitor their numbers. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. I imagine every team may have a player or two that can chart his numbers during the game, but the vast majority are too occupied with playing the game to keep up with the stats. And
they're looking up at the scoreboard too, aren't they? Because they give individual stats up on the board.
Oh, man. I tell you that, and then watching replays is one of my pet peeves with players. I mean, They should just focus on playing the game instead of always looking up to see if they fouled or not.
Here's Livingston. Indiana again missing. Here's Dallas. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
I think it helps the pace of the game with the NBA recently modifying the shot clock rule that after an offensive rebound, it doesn't go back to 24. It goes now to the new number, 14 seconds.
Well, I really like the rule because you don't have to bring the ball over the half-court line, which is 8 seconds, so it makes sense, and it does speed up the game, in my opinion.
And that one is good. 10 points for Luka Doncic.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And he gets it to go. Holiday's got his first points of the game.
You make your teammates better by giving them good passes. That one was perfect.
Here's Doncic. Banked in off the glass.
Well, this is who Doncic is. This is what we've seen from him. A scorer who can take over games easily.
Livingston looking for the opening. On the wing, Turner. Shoots over Marjanovic. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Here are the Mavericks now. They're on a 15-5 run here. Unable to get that one. And Indiana will come the other way. Johnson dishes to Turner. Back to Johnson. Kicks it to Livingston. Indiana moving it around. Outside Holiday. Beyond the arc. It's rebounded by Dallas.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him. And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance. And
here's McConnell. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win to come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did. An awful lot about this team.
They don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a massive performance all the way around.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Alder, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
That's the great